Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Squatter Camp podcast. Thank you to the people who watch my content, people who have subscribed recently, and thank you to all the subscribers and to the people who happen to bump into my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Welcome back to another episode. Now, this is a race. The race has already started of the 2026 local government elections, and everybody is looking at the position of the mayorship in Johannesburg. And Helen Zille has actually sparked a very serious debate about this position ever since she made herself available for the position, and it didn't sit well with other political parties. One of the political parties that came out strongly criticizing her availability, I don't know, but anyway, we're going to go through this letter from the MKP, not showing satisfaction about Helen Zille raising her hand to say, I'm available for the position. If you want me, I can come, I can do my best. Anyway, the African National Congress, Dada Morero, the current sitting mayor, who's doing absolutely nothing, the most useless mayor that I've ever actually gotten to know, by far, of all the mayors who came and became mayors in Johannesburg, to be specific, is the West. Dada Morero is the West. I don't know. I don't hate him, but when he was actually put on that position, he also made it clear that people should not expect much from him. He's not there to deliver some kind of rocket science service and all of this. So African National Congress, the MKP, and the ActionSA have come out to say, well, they don't want Helen Zille. I do understand on the side of Mr. Herman Mashaba saying, they don't approve of Helen Zille to become the mayor. Helen Zille had Herman Mashaba in the Democratic Alliance, and he was the mayor there, doing a very good job. I don't really understand what actually happened, but all that I can say is that he ended up being called an EFF mayor, and the impact that he had during his tenure, Herman Mashaba, was very positive in my own view. And if you put Helen Zille and Herman Mashaba, I'll go for Herman Mashaba, because he's been there, he's got a reference, and he was running that city very well. Anyway, politics is politics. They come and remove you and push you out and all of that. So I was happy with Herman Mashaba until they removed him. And look at the chaos now that are happening in the city of Johannesburg. It's chaos after chaos. In fact, after him, it's been chaos. Remember, Herman Mashaba stayed for 3 years and 3 months, which is a long term, and he made a huge impact. One of the impacts was insourcing the cleaners, the security officers, which is a good thing, because the budget of the municipality that they were actually spending on paying these private service providers was very huge. Why don't you absorb people to work as permanent employees and have benefits, as opposed to having labor brokers? I hate labor brokers. I hate privatizations. I hate the tender system, the tendering and everything. So these three political parties came out. Nasipi Moya, to be specific, she also made it clear that no, she's not impressed with Helen Zille raising her hand and making herself available for the position of the mayor in Johannesburg. Now, here's a letter from MKP that's written and was issued on the 9th of June, 2025. Umkhonto weSizwe Party reject Helen Zille as City of Johannesburg mayoral candidate. Now, I'm just going to quickly go through this letter. The Umkhonto weSizwe Party, MKP Party, vehemently reject the Democratic Alliance's Helen Zille's mention to pursue mayoral candidacy in the city of Johannesburg, given the vast availability of qualified men and women who reside listen to this, who reside in the city of Johannesburg, it is nonsensical to consider the possibility of a Cape Townian resident holding mayoral capacity in a city that she is alien to. The first statement, I'm not impressed, because the MKP, literally, they are saying if you are from Cape Town, you cannot be a mayor in Johannesburg. And, that's cheap politicking. We are looking at the quality of the people who can be appointed more than where they're coming from. You're coming from Cape Town. Anyway, we know that the MKP is itself a tribalist political party, which, if they had a choice, they could only be operating in KwaZulu-Natal. That is why even Floyd was ill-treated there, because one of the reasons he's not Zulu. So I think they are stuck in that kind of politics, that tribalism politics or identity politics, or where you're coming from, you're not coming from Johannesburg, therefore you can't be a mayor. I don't see that as a reason that Helen Zille cannot be a mayor because she's from Cape Town. She's a citizen of this country, so it doesn't matter who's coming from where, because all of us are not coming from Joburg anyway. We come from our different provinces, but anyone, Dada Morero, is not from Joburg, in a sense that no one belongs to Joburg. If you are Soto, you belong there to Free State. If you are Pedi, you belong there in Limpopo. If you are Venda, you coming from Limpopo. If you are Zulu, you come from KZN. So we can't argue about who's coming from which province and all of that. It doesn't make sense to me. Let's continue reading anyway. As the MKP party, it is vital for us to remind Helen Zille and her cronies that the current state of disarray found in the city of Johannesburg is courtesy of their absent mayor, Dada Morero, and has resulted in city being brought to its knees. Let it be known that the MKP stands ready and capable to rescue the city come the 2026 local government elections. Actually, the MKP here is stating that they are ready to take over the mayorship if they are nominated to take up the position. You know why people are chasing Johannesburg? It's because of it's a lucrative municipality. That's where billions and billions of money is lying. So I think they're chasing that so that they can get their hands in the cookie jar, because remember, Jacob Zuma was the president and he was running the whole country. He failed dismally to run this country. So what makes them think they are ready to govern the city when they are president? The same person that they are led by was running the whole country and he failed. By the way, let's continue. For politics' sake, let's continue. Along with the many qualified residents of the city of Johannesburg, our stance is informed by the confidence bestowed to us by the residents of Johannesburg, as demonstrated by the results of the recent by-election in Ward 24, where the MK party secured a second largest voter count during the Ward 24 by-election. It goes without saying that given the chance, the MK party can fix the city of Johannesburg and transform it into a world-class African city it once was. Dada Morero and the ANC should hang their heads in shame for emboldening a white supremacist and giving her a confidence to believe that she can adequately run the city. Now we're coming to the race issue. That, like I said on my last episode, I don't care whether you're white, you're Indian, you're black, you're what, you run the city. So the MKP is still stuck in the race politics, and if we are going to focus on race politics, that's where the problem starts. We're going to have a lot of issues when we are stuck in race politics, that this one is white, this one is colored, this one is... if we are actually engaging in an immature political engagement. So I don't think that's also an argument about the race issue, that supremacist. And black politicians, when they argue with these other white politicians, they all the time they happen to pull a race card, that as long as you are white, you are a white supremacist, and therefore you don't have interest of black people and all of that. Gone are those days. Let's engage in clean politics which is not contaminated, politics which is constructive, which is going to bring back the confidence of the people on board that this is what we can do for you, and therefore we should move on. By the way, let's continue, because this is what I was actually worried about, that why is the MKP continuing to dwell on race? The race is no longer an issue now. 30 years after the ANC has caused a mess, race is no longer an issue now. Let's continue to read. We call on the residents of Johannesburg, especially proud black people, to reject the propaganda that the DA does not see color. As shown in the city of Cape Town, the DA's priorities tend to shift depending on the race of the residents. This one we can argue when it happens, because now it is the same thing. We are led by our fellow black brothers and sisters. Dada Morero is not white, he's black, but he's performing poor and he's doing absolutely nothing, and he's got nothing to offer. The mayor from the African National Congress. So why should we continue to say white people cannot deliver the service when this very same black people cannot still deliver the service? It doesn't make sense to me. Maybe someone will have a different view. Now, as we continue, one of our most important values of the MK Party's People's Mandate is to reclaim the dignity of black people. That this ticket of black people representing black people, that's where the problem is. Let's continue reading. We are informed by this mandate and urge the people of the city of Johannesburg to know that the MKP is more than capable of leading the city and ensuring that reliable representatives who are familiar with the lived realities of those residing in the city are elected. In the build-up to the 2026 local government elections, the MK Party will share a credible plan on how to rebuild this once glorious but broken city. So the letter ends here, and let me see. The MK Party calls on the residents of the city of Johannesburg to work with our structures on the ground who are active and are already responding to the so-called government of national unity service delivery challenges. So this is the letter that was actually compiled by the MKP responding to Helen Zille's remarks that she is actually ready to accept the challenge. And politics aside, we just want service delivery, nothing else but service delivery, and the ANC's response to this whole Helen Zille's availability, because everybody is looking at the 2026 local government elections. So it shows now that every party is racing towards that. Now, there's an article which was written that Dada Morero is laughing off at the claims. The city of Johannesburg Mayor Dada Morero has laughed off an announcement by Helen Zille that she plans to throw her hat in the ring to become a Democratic Alliance's mayoral candidate to run for the country's economic hub. This is after Zille confirmed that she was approached and willing to run for the Joburg mayor in the upcoming local government elections set for the late 2026 or early 2027. Morero responded to the possible move during a briefing on the Africa Mayors Assembly in Tshwane on Monday. DA candidates who want to run for mayoral positions in the country's municipalities have until 15 June. Okay, here they are just giving the deadline. And recently, Helen Zille took an interview at 7:02, interviewed by Bongani Bingwa, about this whole thing. And by the way, it's politics. It's politics, and politics, everybody is racing, and it's about power. And the African National Congress have got nothing to say because they've had a chance to run the city and they've consistently failed. The EFF, those are extortionists. If you give them money, they keep quiet and they can let everything fall apart. They don't care as long as they got money. For Herman Mashaba, the ActionSA, I do understand, because when Herman Mashaba left the Democratic Alliance, it was a bitter kind of separation, the same as Mmusi Maimane. So it's politics on that. I cannot really tell what exactly has transpired. There were allegations that he was doing his own thing. He was no longer taking instruction from the Democratic Alliance's federal chairperson, Helen Zille. So they had a bitter kind of relationship. And I don't know, but if I have to choose between Helen Zille and Herman Mashaba, I will choose Herman Mashaba, because the city was coming right, and I think, if I can remember very well, the next mandate that he wanted to do that really caused some issues was to reclaim the hijacked buildings in the city. So yes, it's politics, but it's the ANC must just hang its head in shame for criticizing, by the way, so to speak, to say Helen Zille cannot be a mayor. They themselves have a mayor who's useless there. They don't know what to do with Dada Morero. And they can talk whatever or say whatever they want to say, but they are also failing. They are also part of the problem. The MKP is an organized cartel of people who failed in the ANC during the Zuma tenure, and they were eating, they were comfortable, and now Cyril Ramaphosa pushed them out. It's cold because it's winter now. It's cold outside. They want to get inside, right? So for them to get inside is for them to use the ticket of black people, saving black people and coming to rescue them and calling white people white supremacists and all of that. So those are race politics, and it's not going to help us. And I think the MKP should actually shift from tribalism politics and identity politics, that they shouldn't be all about saving black people when they know that they are honestly not having any interest of saving black people. Because if they really wanted to save black people, they wouldn't have the chaos that they have, demoting this one, firing this one. The internal squabbles in the MKP, it's a sign that this is the kind of a government that we can expect when they become the mayors and all of that. We know that a lot of money will be stolen and they will be back into their positions, and they only want tenders and to benefit, self-enrichment. They are just self-centered. So I don't understand if they say they are ready to, what is it that they can run actually, when they used to run the whole country and everything collapsed. The South African Airways collapsed under Tutumieni, and we survived on bailouts. The Guptas were doing as they pleased. They were dancing in our country. They were given even permanent citizenship, illegally so, by the way, unduly so, by the former Home Affairs Minister Malusi Gigaba. So the ANC cartel has now regrouped and come. If MKP takes over this country, it's like ANC 2.0. You are going to see the worse than the ANC. If the EFF becomes a government in this country, you are going to see ANC 2.0, because these two political parties, they are actually the breakaway from the original ANC, and it's a cook from the same pot. That's my problem. Anyway, I might be wrong. Maybe I might be wrong. Maybe my ideology it's not consistent. But this is what I think, that these people, they have got a potential to cause chaos in our country. So it's up to us whether we give them that opportunity. But it has shown me that most black South Africans, they are not really politically informed, because how do you vote for political party which doesn't even have a constituency. You don't know what these people represent, but they voted for them. So it's neither here nor there, but it's worrisome when they come and they want to claim that they can fix things when they have literally failed before. My view, let us give Helen Zille a chance. If it's not Helen Zille, let it be Herman Mashaba then. At least then, you know, it's a better devil because he has been there and he knows the city and he has done it before to prove to us that I am capable of doing that. I can't wait for these contenders, but Herman Mashaba versus Helen Zille, yeah, I mean, I believe something can happen there. Those are the two people that will actually emerge. I don't know, maybe I might be wrong. Maybe someone will emerge from the MKP. Maybe someone will emerge from the ANC, because the ANC has repeatedly recycled, you know, rotten potatoes every now and again. They recycle people who are incompetent and all of that. So we stand to see, but I don't understand when the ANC and the MKP says Helen Zille is not a better candidate when they have got the worst candidates from their political parties. Thank you, squatters, for watching my content. Let's keep engaging. Let's see how this will actually roll out. I'm waiting to see. I'm just waiting to see that how will this come. You know, if Helen Zille becomes the mayor of Johannesburg, it will be a sign of a relief. And again, that will actually prove for the Democratic Alliance whether they are capable of pushing through towards 2029, getting more votes. And that's what Helen Zille is looking at, that if I do better from 2027 or 2026, 2029, they will actually overtake ANC and become maybe the first political party with a majority, then follows the ANC, then maybe follows the MKP and the EFF. The EFF has got chances of declining. I don't know, maybe I might be wrong. A lot is going to happen from now on until 2026 local government elections and 2029 general elections. We wait to see. Thank you, squatters, for watching my content. I'll see you next time. I sign out. Sharp.